The guru mentioned there would be a cave leading to the end wall in this area. The party takes a look around. Polka takes notice of a crack in the snow and ice. Upon closer examination, you realize it must be the cave entrance. If you can just clear the snow away, you should be able to pass inside. The flame primal appears before you and melts the snow blocking the entrance in an instant. You have to admit you're getting quite good at controlling these primals. In fact, you might be able to control the flame primal well enough to keep everyone warm in the harsh climbs ahead. In the distance, you see a massive cliff looming over the vast expanse of thick snow before you. That must be the end wall, Legol says gravely. Warmed by the flame primal, the party sets off in the direction of the massive sheet of ice. The sand skiff slows to a crawl. Battle time. Actually, nope. It's stopped entirely. You peer down at the wheels to find them completely packed with snow. You won't get across the snow in the sand skiff like this. Before you can even get the words out, Polka is muttering to himself and drawing up blueprints. His Sand Skiff Mark II plans, he announces, will require planks, or something plank-like. 2 long, thin planks of metal, to be precise, he says, giving you an idea. You raise the card containing the steel primal high into the air. Now, with your primal wrangling powers coming into their own, you think you might be able to get the steel primal to help you. You summon it and manage to make it craft 2 long, skinny metal plates. Though it's not yet effortless, your control over the primals feels more responsive than ever. You hand the plates to a gleeful Polka, who immediately attaches them to the sand skiff. Thanks to Polka's efforts, the sand skiff can now travel across snow. You spot a number of small but mighty flowers poking up through the snow. The mere sight of them fills you all with hope. Whew. Sometimes you get lucky. Not a soul stirs in the entire village. Perhaps it is long since abandoned. No one appears to be staffing the inn. You promise to the absent innkeeper you'll pay later, and scurry inside out of the cold. This portion of the village appears to be a graveyard. Though it does not appear the owner is home, there are signs of life all throughout the cabin. You'd better not enter uninvited. You come across a warrior clad head to toe in black armor, singularly focused on his swordcraft. He seems quite skilled. You spot a sign near him which reads, "Challengers welcome. Must be strong." The warrior turns to face you. "You, young lady, are not yet ready," he says with a chuckle. You're not sure why he's laughing. You pay him no mind and continue on your way. Battle time. Battle time. Ooh, I can feel the... Battle time. It's a monster, and one behaving rather strangely now that you get it. Polka continues carrying on and making a scene beside you. Alas, the monster has already noticed you and takes off at a speed you cannot hope to match. beautiful. At last, you've reached the end wall. It is a cliff taller than any you've seen, and its breadth extends as far as the eye can see. It practically defies you to conquer it. You try to climb it, but its face is sheer ice, and your hands find no purchase. But you will not be defeated. You redouble your efforts and scramble partway up, only to see a giant snowball hurtling your way. In a show of quick thinking, you summon the flame primal and melt it before it crashes into you. Alas, that movement throws you off balance, and you plummet into the snow at the base of the end wall. Legol's plea for you to stop goes unheeded, and you hurl yourself bodily at the icy cliff. This time, an even larger snowball drops down from the heavens. Sensing your life is in danger, you abandon your climb. You announce that you won't be trying again, and Legol applauds the sagacity of your decision. He then reminds you that no one even knows if the Nuterra the Guru spoke of is real. Polka doesn't look quite so ready to give in. Nuterra's existence is irrelevant, he says, noting that the Guru said it was simply where you'd find what you seek. Trollis reckons she can climb it and leaps at the end wall. The party is divided. Legol opposes any attempt to advance, but Polka and Trollis insist on scaling the wall. Thanks to the flame primal's warmth, the debate carries on for some time. Suddenly, your vision blurs. You've drawn upon the flame primal's power for too long, and your body has reached its limit. The flame you called forth blinks out of existence, and a piercing chill sets in once more. Between your exhaustion and the cold, you feel yourself growing faint. These words, and the shape of an old woman emerging from the snow, are the last things you register before you lose consciousness. Your eyes open, and your surroundings come into focus. Next to you sits an old woman. "Come around, have you?" she asks gently. You suppose she's been looking after you. Perhaps drawn by the noise you're making, Legol and the others burst into the room. They all fawn over you in turn. "Care for something to eat?" the old woman asks, her voice as soothing as any curative. You accept her kind offer immediately, offering your thanks loudly and profusely. A model youth, if ever there was one, the woman says, nodding enthusiastically as she sets to cooking. The food is simple and warm. It heals your body and mind with every bite. Polka broaches a bit of conversation while you eat. I didn't happen to see anyone else in the village. The old woman says she'll take you to meet the others and shuffles out of the cabin. The old woman leads you to the graveyard. They're all gone now, she says softly. Her face creases with profound sadness. Eager to leave a land in which nothing can grow, each one tried to scale the end wall and reach New Terra, but not a single one returned. Eventually, the old woman was the only one left. Her own son was also among those who set out to scale the end wall. Still, the old woman ventures to the end wall once a day, clinging to the last shred of hope she has that he will return. She tells you how grateful she's been for your company after so much time alone, and suggests you spend the night in Icevale. A piercing shriek launches you out of a deep sleep and onto your feet. That was the kindly old woman's voice. You're sure of it. You all agree to check in on her. The party hurriedly piles into her humble abode, to find the old woman doubled over, clutching her back and unable to move. She's thrown her back out, Polka says matter-of-factly. It only hurts if you let it. Be strong, Legol says optimistically. Easy for you to say, the woman snaps. Perhaps sensing no small amount of danger to her life, the woman remains where she is and informs you that there is a curative that will ease her suffering. One derived from solnivias, rare flowers that bloom across the snowy plains. She's fed you and provided shelter. You must find that flower for her. You turn your head toward the source of the sound and see the merchant looking half frozen, waving at you from afar. You wave back, agog at the sight. What's a merchant like him doing in a place like this? The merchant is shivering something fierce. Please, you lot are my only hope, he pleads and lays out his wares. You spot a small flower poking its head above the snow. Surely that must be There are several jutting up from the snow, but you pluck just one and resolve to return to the old woman. Everything's on sale, she says, and casually mentions that her father might punish her for any unsold stock. The merchant says she'll return to face her father, bids you farewell, and begins breaking down her stall. No more shopping for you, it seems. You burst through the door, Sol Nivea in hand. Polka grinds it according to the old woman's instructions and spreads the resulting salve on her back. feels better already, she coos. Indeed, she seems to be instantly healed. Thank you ever so much. You must be chilled to the bone, she chirps as she begins preparing you a meal. The party decides there's nothing that cannot wait until tomorrow and agrees to spend yet another night in Icevale. Upon waking, your party begins discussing how to proceed. Sure, you gave up on scaling the end wall yourself, but you didn't have a plan then. Surely, if you all put your heads together, Polka and Trollis, who were already eager to find Nutera, seize on this idea. Legol, the sole dissenter, can tell he's been outvoted. If that's what you want, he says grudgingly. And so the party resolves to take another crack at climbing the end wall, but not before checking in on the old woman one last time. You knock at the door to the old woman's cabin, but there's no answer. Might she still be asleep? You walk in to check on her and find her lying abed, cold to the touch. The Solnivia could have been poisonous, Legol posits, but Polka refutes that hypothesis upon examining her. He pronounces her dead of natural causes. From the sub-Terran village to Steelborough to the City of Flame and onward, you've left a trail of death and disease in your wake. If there is a god of pestilence among us, it's me, Legol says, coming to your defense. Polka counters that were you a god of pestilence, the continued good health of the entire party would be inexplicable and, frankly, illogical. Trollis gently strokes your back and suggests you all give the old woman a proper burial. You decide to bury the woman beside the other graves in Icevale, if only so she won't be lonely in death. You wish to mark her grave like the others, but you see no wood from which you might fashion something to do so. Didn't we see a few tree ants on the way here? Polka proffers. Tree ant timber would do the job quite well, he explains. So it's decided. You'll fell a tree ant and use its wood to mark the woman's grave. Legol efficiently breaks down the tree ant. Out of nowhere, Pulka starts. "I've just had a brilliant idea," he yelps. Pulka wishes for you to collect more tree ant timber. "Are we building a whole house?" Legol grouses, side-eyeing Pulka. The target of his ire, however, is already off searching for tree ants. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get lucky. Battle time. Whew. This ought to be enough wood for our purposes, Polka announces with a satisfied nod. Trollis suggests you stop by the old woman's grave and place a flower on it. This one cutest, she beams, and picks a single flower from the ground. Flower in hand, you make your way back to Icevale. You fashion the wood into a fine marker for her final resting place and place the flower atop it. You clasp your hands to pray, but no, something's missing. Polka. Where did Polka go? When did he leave? You're certain he was with you right up until you returned to the village. You have to find him. You quickly spot Polka puttering around the sand skiff. He takes notice of you too. We're all set, he chirps. You gather he's been preparing the sand skiff for your eventual departure. You take your leave of Icevale and prepare to face the end wall once more. As you approach the end wall, you're intimidated once more by its preposterous scale. "We'll upgrade the sand skiff," you announce to the party. "What sort of upgrade?" Ligol asks. You give him a smug look. You say all you need to do is make it fly. Polka's glasses catch the light just so. "I thought it would come to this. I'm one step ahead of you," he proclaims. On Polka's orders, you set fire to the wood you gathered earlier. The balloons now attached to the sand skiff inflate as the hot air fills them, and the skiff softly lifts off the ground. I swear I've seen something like this before. Trollis is utterly delighted by the unexpected flight. Her joy is tempered by violent gusts that grow more intense as the skiff climbs. It's a bit too dangerous to continue on, so you seek out a suitable landing spot. You strain to see through the blizzard, but you're almost certain there's enough space to land on a protrusion partway up the end wall. You bring the sand skiff in for a landing. Surveying the area, you see that there's an opening in the end wall big enough for everyone to fit through. You fashion a torch from some of your sand skiff fuel and enter the cave.